In today's episode, we're taking a break from working on Velare City, and instead we're going to start building the Blue Line. This will be one of the main train lines servicing Velare City. To build this train line, I'm using multiple mods, but most notably the Minecraft Transit Railway mod. There were two options for how to build the viaducts for the Blue Line. Either I use the Station Decoration mod, which adds viaduct textures, or I would use the bridge tool included in the MTR mod to create the viaducts myself. The benefit of creating the viaducts with the MTR mod is that the bridge tool places physical blocks, so with distant horizons installed, there's almost no limit to how far I'd be able to see the viaducts. On the other hand, the viaducts from the Station Decorations mod are much more time efficient and look amazing, but they use Minecraft's render distance, meaning that even with distant horizons, I wouldn't be able to see them very far. But I decided, since the two main railway lines coming out of Velare would run on viaducts, that I would use the MSD viaducts, in the hopes that in the future, the MTR mod will reintroduce separate render distance for rails. With that decided, I moved on to creating the first tunnel of the Blue Line. I used MTR's tunnel creator to bore the tunnel through the mountain, then used the tunnel textures from the Station Decoration mod. I went back and used the wider variant of the tunnel creator as the tunnels were one block too narrow, then went on to build the tunnel entrance and exit. I've mentioned this before, but replay mod can be strange as sometimes it won't show the rails after recording a replay, so keep that in mind for some of the clips. Now I start placing the pillars for the viaducts. I'm using the same pillar design as I did for the tram line to keep things consistent. I decided to build a small bridge over this river. I'm aiming for a truss bridge type design. I once again use Create's Copycat Plus mod to create the shapes of the supports. With the bridge finished, I moved on to building the first station. In today's episode, I'll be building two stations on the Blue Line, the first being Bluefield Resort. In the future, this station will serve a small resort located on the surrounding marshland. After building the platforms, I created a temporary test depot and added a train that will run on the Blue Line, so I knew where to place the platform gates. But let's take a quick break to look at the stunning new MPL 16 train that released with the latest MTR update. Moving on, I'm now building the escalators and elevators to get from the concourse beneath to the platforms above. To build the elevators, I place a lift floor track at the level of each floor that the lift will service. These are then connected with elevator tracks. I then use the brush tool and right-click on the floor blocks to name them. Using the elevator refresher spawns in the elevator, and I can then right-click the refresher again to resize and reposition the elevator. I can then place the display panels and buttons and use the link tool to link the panels and buttons to the elevator. Only once that is done do I place the elevator doors, and now we have a functioning elevator. Finally, I extended out the concourse in the middle of the station to give more space to add the ticket barriers and ticket machines. I wanted to test out the train line, so I created a temporary turnback track so the trains could run from Velare to Bluefield and back. I then added Bluefield Resort into the railway dashboard and changed the dwell time to 20 seconds. This means the trains will wait for 20 seconds at the station. Heading back to Velare Terminal, I removed the temporary siding I made at the start of the series. I also placed the platform rails on the Purple Line platforms, then added Velare Terminal to the railway dashboard as well. I then built the siding rails for the Blue Line in the mountain behind Velare City. Using the railway dashboard, I created a depot and added the trains. I decided to use M trains, which are used on the Hong Kong metro system. I think these suit the Blue Line well. I then created the routes in the railway dashboard and added a timetable for the trains to follow. If you want a more in-depth video on how to create routes with the MTR mod, head over to Jonathan's channel. He's the creator of the MTR mod and has some amazing tutorials on how to use the mod. I then used signal connectors to ensure the trains wouldn't get jammed up. Now it's finally time to give the Blue Line a test run. I've sped up the test run video for now. Keep watching for a full unedited run at the end of the video. You might notice the text at the bottom of the screen says Sea Marsh Resort. That was the original name for Bluefield Resort before I decided to change the name. I decided whilst I was at Velare that I would add some detail to the Blue Line depot and to the tunnel entrance leading to the depot as well. With the depot finished, it was time to move on to the final section of the Blue Line for this episode. This will lead to the last station that I'll build today. So now I'm building Azure Quay. This is my favorite station in my world so far. I just really like the design, so keep watching. Azure Quay will service a small port that I'll build here in the future. The design is loosely based off the Bangkok Sky Train in Thailand, with the platforms being on an elevated viaduct and the concourse being below. With Azure Quay finished, the last thing I'm doing today is making a start on the Catenary. This is an extremely time-consuming process, but I think the outcome really adds to the immersion. What I have to do is place an object block and add the catenary model. Then I need to add a catenary node and adjust the position and offset for every single one. This is especially difficult when working on bends or slopes. But I'm not going to bore you with all the catenary placing. Let's now take a ride on the section of the blue line that we built today.
Next station, Bluefield Resort. Next station, Azure Quay. Next station, Bluefield Resort. Next station, Velare Terminal. We are now approaching Velare Terminal, where this service will terminate. Please ensure you have all your personal belongings before leaving the train.
So that does it for the third episode of the series. In the next episode, we will go back to working on Velare City. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like, subscribe, and comment any thoughts you may have. Thank you for watching.